What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with some more news. Join us now as Wrestlelamia looks at the wildest wrestling news stories and rumors you need to know, including Chris Jericho explaining why he'll never go back to WWE. Has Rey Mysterio and WWE agreed on a new contract? Another push has ended for a young Raw star. A WWE wrestler had to apologize for spoiling results, and Angel Garza gets married. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos. Now let's hit the intro and get straight into the first story. As Chris Jericho explains why he'll never go back to WWE. Chris Jericho's move to All Elite Wrestling is seen as one of the promotion's biggest signings, with Jericho's star power and talent helping the new promotion succeed. While Le Champion is doing well in AEW, would he ever consider returning to WWE? Well, no, really. Speaking on his Saturday Night Special YouTube channel, Jericho pointed out, "I loved my time in WWE. I love Vince McMahon. I learned a lot. I had a lot of fun. But listen, you can't stay in the same place forever. You become stagnant if you do, and I think you need to push yourself to do something new, and the fact that AEW was live without a net when I first showed up, and all of us have done such a great job of promoting this brand and promoting this company, like I said, the demogod thing is real." Chris Jericho is 49, and while he has said AEW's light schedule will likely allow him to work a longer career, how many more years does he have left in the ring? Other than the need for cash, it's difficult to imagine Jericho continuing his in-ring career for much longer, and as long as AEW remains in business, it's unlikely he'll go anywhere else other than the occasional gigs in Japan. Next up, have WWE and Rey Mysterio agreed on a new deal? It looks like they are. As you likely recall, Rey has been working without a contract in WWE for some time, with the two sides reportedly unable to reach an agreement due to Rey's request for a pay rise and the WWE's refusal. However, the Wrestling Observer is reporting that the last word is that the sides are not far from a deal, and McMahon and Mysterio would be meeting up once again soon to try and finalize things. This is good, as there's still a number of matches that we'd love to see Rey Mysterio in. Next up, a big change to the Raw main event. The WWE has changed the 27th July Raw's main event between WWE Champion Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler from a title match to a non-title match. Last Monday, the WWE Champion told Dolph Ziggler he could have a rematch after his failed bid at Extreme Rules to defeat Drew, but with one condition. This time Drew would pick the stipulation. Despite listing the match as a title match, the WWE's previews for Raw now lists it as a non-title match. Some fans and pundits have already predicted Randy Orton will interfere in the match in order to set up a Drew vs Randy match at SummerSlam, so we could see Ziggler get a tainted win. But does it matter if it's a non-title and it's not clean? Next up, WWE kills a push for another young star on the Red brand. Now you can add Aleister Black to the ever-growing list of wrestlers Vince McMahon has given up on, with Black apparently being written off television due to a storyline beatdown he suffered on the 20th July Raw at the hands of Seth Rollins and Buddy Murphy. According to Wrestling News' Paul Davis, Black is being taken off television for a while. WrestlingNews.co was told last year that Vince McMahon wasn't a huge fan of Aleister Black, but he was going to wait things out to see if Heyman could turn him into a top star. Others in the company believe Black has all the tools to be a top guy in the company. Now, he was getting a good push during Paul Heyman's run as Raw Executive Director, with some fans considering the Dutch Destroyer a potential Money in the Bank winner. However, since Heyman's departure, Black's role on Raw has largely been to put over talent. Aleister Black is a wrestler with a cool look and hard-hitting style, but as always, no push means little chance of finding success, particularly with no fans to gauge Black's ability to get over. We think that this is an incredible shame, but hopefully Vince McMahon will change his mind down the line. Next up, Sunny is losing money. It appears that WWE Hall of Famer Sunny, aka Tamara Sitch, has suffered a financial hit after her latest imprisonment. Ringside News is reporting that Sunny's OnlyFans subscribers are cancelling their subscriptions, where they were allowed to gain not safe for work content for $22 to $30 a month, and that Sunny's previous 2,000 subscribers have dropped to around 799. Sitch was rolling in the dough after she was paroled last February, claiming she made over $100,000 in 6 weeks due to her OnlyFans account. Now, Sunny is going to need all the money she can raise given the number of chances she's had in the courts and her latest arrest while on parole. Next up is a former WWE star challenging Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes' open challenge for his TNT Championship has seen several wrestlers who are not under contract with AEW compete for his title, and now former WWE superstar JTG, who is one half of Crime Time, may be challenging Cody very soon. JTG posted a piece of fan art showing a promo for Cody vs JTG, along with the following message: "Cody Rhodes, don't you love fan art?" A JTG vs Cody match could be fantastic, as well as to show fans how AEW is willing to work with a variety of talent from outside the company. Would you guys like to see these two lock up to compete over the TNT Championship? Let us know in the comments down below. Next up, an NXT star apologizes for spoiling Keith Lee's win. Keith Lee's win over Adam Cole for the NXT Championship was arguably the highlight of the 2 nights of NXT's Great American Bash special, but the win was spoiled thanks to an Instagram post by NXT performer Saurav Gurjar showing Keith Lee celebrating a win. According to a report by Fightful Select, the last set of WWE NXT tapings, a backstage meeting was held, and in those shares, Saurav Gurjar apologized for spoiling the results of the title for title match before it happened. Now, fans are still debating whether his post was part of a WWE scheme to work fans through social media. If so, his apology could be a work as well. Next up, Vicki Guerrero talks her new role in AEW. Former WWE superstar Vicki Guerrero excelled in her role as the evil authority figure of SmackDown general manager, and now Guerrero is back in the wrestling world, serving as Nyla Rose's manager. During a recent episode of our podcast, Vicki discussed the events leading up to her return. She mentioned how an appearance on Chris Jericho's wrestling cruise led to her teasing a return to wrestling, and she thought about how much fun she'd have managing Nyla Rose. However, there was no guarantee she'd even be offered a job. Vicki bided her time and recalls thinking, "I said, well God, if this is going to happen, then it's meant to be, and if no, then it's okay. That's the superstar in me. I'm always thinking about storylines and who's gonna face who. Now my dream came true. Nyla and I have some really cool ideas and plan out for storylines. There are a lot of women in AEW we are going to target, and that will be the fun part of it." Now that she's back in wrestling, Guerrero doesn't want to rest on her laurels, and she's looking to forge a new identity. She mentioned, "I don't want to be the same character that I was in WWE coming into AEW. It's time for me to reinvent myself. I have a new roster and a new playground that will excite me to interact with the different people on the roster. I think that's going to have me enjoy this a lot more. I forget how exciting and the love I have for inside the ring just with how gracious Tony Khan was. All the staff and coaches were so welcoming me coming in. It's been a fun ride. I can't wait for the next time I'm out there." Vicki Guerrero's presence at ringside could add some excitement to AEW's women's division as the promotion continues trying to build it into an important component. Next up is Matt Hardy abandoning his gimmicks. Matt Hardy has been able to keep his wrestling career fresh by changing his persona throughout the years, with identities such as Matt Hardy 2.0, Broken Matt Hardy, and many others. However, Matt recently informed his fans via YouTube that he's simply going to compete as Matthew Hardy. Matt's reasons not only have to do with wrestling, but with the world's problems, including the virus and political turmoil in the United States. "Maybe it's time for me to do my part to try and heal some of the division, to be a voice of reason. This is why I've decided to be real on AEW programming, to be something that I've never been on television before. It is time for me to be Matthew Hardy." Hardy also discussed how the lack of fans has impacted his ability to properly channel his various incarnations. When I first debuted as Broken Matt Hardy on AEW Dynamite, every Wednesday was supposed to be in front of sold-out arenas. I thought thousands of people would scream "delete, delete" at the top of their lungs. Unfortunately, this never happened, and Broken Matt debuted in the first ever AEW Empty Arena event and is yet to perform in front of fans. With any luck, Matt will return to his broken character once AEW resumes having fans present. What do you think of Matt's decision? Let us know in the comments down below. And finally, Angel Garza gets married. Last but not least, congratulations to current Raw performer Angel Garza, who recently married Zayd Lozano. Garza proposed to Lozano during an episode of NXT, and now they've tied the knot. But there you have it guys, the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know. Be sure to leave your comments down below, subscribe if you haven't already, follow us on Instagram and Facebook for exclusive lists, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.